Every day is history. We don't stop to think about that, but every day is history.
When I'm walking down the street in Mount Lebanon, I'm like, oh, that used to be a deli, or like I know where all these things were now. So I'm a lot more aware of the past.
You know, I think it's important that we highlight the historic nature of the community, one of the first inner ring suburbs in the United States of America.
It's important to appreciate what you have and just learn about how you can impact the future. I think that's what history allows us to do.
The Historical Society of Mount Lebanon has served and educated the community for nearly 2 decades, preserving, interpreting, and sharing its history in ways designed to inspire our present and guide our future. Programs have expanded over the years to include lectures, archival storage, rotating exhibits, educational programs, research, and community-wide events. An annual speaker series has offered 25 free programs in the past 5 years, with many more to come. As many as 120 people attend these lectures, including high school AP history students. Popular walking tours of the community have drawn up to 150 people annually.
We had a bus tour last summer of the neighborhoods, again tying in with our current exhibit, and it was a sellout. Streets like Vernon Drive, we've been by thousands of times, but never really stopped and looked, and we look forward to doing it again next year.
Each fall, every second grader in the school district, more than 350 students, takes part in a walking tour of Washington Road that includes a stop in the Historical Society, where they learn what it was like to be a student in the early 1900s.
We also have some wonderful artifacts. So we have slates, we have books, so there are things that you can share with the children so that they get a better understanding of what it was like to live here 100 years ago.
Free public displays have educated citizens and documented our history for Mount Lebanon's centennial celebration.
It's interesting seeing people, both young and old, enjoy the history and tell stories of their growing up in Mount Lebanon. At our 4th of July, we bring along high school yearbooks of different decades, and it's a big draw of people, kids looking up their parents and that type of thing for a laugh.
The Historical Society has been a successful and growing part of the community for many years, but the time has come for an expansion of its facilities so that the Historical Society can continue to fulfill its mission.
The space we have has really served us well, but it does have limits. Now this is an opportunity to take the next step in that evolution.
From its humble beginnings in a former physician's practice in the basement of 794 Washington Road, the Historical Society will purchase, renovate, and refurbish the home of the McMillan family. The home, built in the Spanish colonial revival style, includes many unique architectural features that have been covered up over the years, including a one-of-a-kind indoor fountain, wall murals, and a beautiful stained glass skylight.
And it just shows you how times have changed and trends have changed, and we are all excited to see this. Really, it's just typical of history. I mean, things you don't expect, and all of a sudden it's there.
It's not going to be an office. It's going to be a real living house that has history in it, and that's special.
The renovated buildings will include many needed features, an open and inviting space for curated exhibits, as well as traveling exhibits in collaboration with the Heinz History Center, a climate-controlled archival storage space, a large community multipurpose room, library research area, catering kitchen, and handicapped accessibility. The Historical Society will be able to continue to serve and educate the community for years to come with these new facilities.
Having this new space is going to do some really good things for the community. We can be an example of a model local historical society, and that's kind of the goal that we have here.
I think we definitely need to move out of the basement. I think the house that we're in right now is a really fitting place to do so because it's got so much history itself and it's a beautiful space. We just need room so everything's not in boxes and you can actually see the stuff. Last week I actually found this box of stuff from the cemetery and it was the coolest stuff I've ever seen. It was all these metal badges and these little books. It was like from the 1800s. And there were little planners, grocery store lists, and I just thought it was so cool to have someone found it in the cemetery, I guess. There's like still dirt and rust on them from then. It's tangible history. It's really cool to like be able to hold something and realize that it's history.
The Historical Society is managed by a dedicated board of directors, run by a tireless volunteer team, and funded by our members.
I was asked to help out with the Memorial Day Parade. To ride some people in the Memorial Day Parade because the usual driver could not do it, and that sucked me into the vortex, and I'm thoroughly involved in it and love it.
I really enjoyed the people here, and that made it easy to decide to come back because there was a lot of work that needed to be done, and there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. And I get a lot out of it. I learn a lot about history.
Actually, my friend Jeremy got me into volunteering here because I was just looking for some place to go for hours, and okay, why not? And when I came here on the first day, it was actually so much fun that I went home and told my mom that I was like, Mom, I met these like guys at the Historical Society. It's like my Saturday morning crew now. It's gonna be so much fun.
The purchase and restoration of 794 Washington Road is critical to the future of the Historical Society of Mount Lebanon and its expanding role in the community. To fund the Historical Society's expansion, a $1 million capital campaign is underway. This funding will be used to purchase, restore, and improve the property, and to establish an endowment to help support increased operating costs. I'm John Delano, and I hope you'll join our nearly 250 members in preserving our heritage and building our future.
I have 3 kids, 7, 5, and 3. And they're going to grow up and have the ability to grow up in Mount Lebanon with a historical society that will have Mount Lebanon's history right at their fingertips. And it's something that I've tried to pass down. My mother actually grew up in Mount Lebanon. That generational passing down of history, from one generation to the next is something that makes our community, I think all throughout Western Pennsylvania, very unique, certainly Mount Lebanon.
It's my Mount Lebanon, it's your Mount Lebanon. And I think you should support the Historical Society because we are trying to preserve the past and the present, and certainly with an eye to the future so that we don't lose any of the valuable ingredients that make up the community.
This is completely necessary, and it's important that people value history and they value the Historical Society because it's a great resource for students, for adults to learn. So it's important for the Historical Society to have a better space.
It is so much fun because it's almost like it's alive, like you're dealing with it now in present terms. We are the next generation in this whole chain of history for Mount Lebanon.